Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the 496th episode of the Hospital Podcast from the Hospital Jungle. Of course, we're not live. This is a pre-record, but my name is Degs and I just want to wish everyone in attendance. I don't think that's probably the right word, but we're going to stick with it. Happy New Year. It's 2024, baby. And we're going to kick things off with some liquid music. Welcome back to a brand new year, a brand new season, a brand new, series of the Hospital Podcast with myself, Degs, and of course, King George in the background on executive production duties. So yeah, I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. I hope you all enjoyed our special marathon, 5, 6, 7 hour long Christmas podcast. A salute to all the gang in attendance. And we're going to kick things off 2024 with Galaxy. New day. Let's go. So yeah, 2024 business. Welcome back to the Hospital Podcast, of course. And yeah, we've got some very special guests lined up this year, and we will be back live in 2 weeks. So yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, this one's beautiful, man. Whilst I'm just drinking my water. Do you know what? It's not, am I doing dry January? Nah. Just having like one day off, right? I wonder if I could keep up this normal wacky energy with just what, should we can the podcast? George is just cussing me out in the background. But whilst George is cussing me out in the background, I need to introduce this tune to you guys right now. And this track is from a good friend of mine and someone that I really respect as a musician and as a human being as well. His name is Irie. He's from Sri Lanka, and this track is called Where Words Fail. And it's out on the UKF Liquid series. And yeah, I thought I'd kick things off 2024. Of course, winter vibes, right, George? You've got to kick things off with a little bit of liquid music. But because it's 2024, and obviously I haven't got the comments today, but please feel free to comment who you'd like to see on the podcast as a guest, even for a guest mix, for an interview or whatever you like. Let us know what content you want us to provide for you in 2024. Clean slate? Is that right? Clean slate? Something like that. Anyway, Hospital Podcast. Don't know what I'm talking about now. Let's go. So yeah, moving on from Sub Focus, this track is of course Fine Day. Into some Tim Reaper, right? Yeah, wicked jungle flavours on this one. And this track is BC, Come and Join Us. And this is the incredible Tim Reaper remix. Expecting more big things from Mr. Reaper in 2024. And yeah, I hope everyone had an amazing New Year Eve celebration. We were, of course, at Motion. I was quite drunk, probably. I don't know, we're talking about this from the past or in the future, but I can just imagine I was quite drunk, right? And yeah, to wash away these January blues, here's some soulful goodness from the legend himself. Brand new tone, Warm Glow, Ed Scissor, let's go.
Yeah, new dawn, new day, new form and a new phase, and it's soon noon in new light, like old times on a new wave. Sun down with them lights out, old town, new estate, new moon fully in bloom in that new tone, summer night shade, old bricks and them new sounds, got a new take on a new tape, say number on a new phone, and I'm belling up all my old mates, old tricks on a new flame, new chick in my old car, and we weed smoking, we so close and it's so good, man, so far won't blow. These street meditations, my deep excavations, a sweet medication alone. It's deeply contagious, a beast in the basement, just keep dedicated and go. Between eating the faces and neat finger tracings, yeah, you'll find a space in the code. Grab a seat at the table, the feeling so spatial, cause deep in the basement is gold.
Yeah, wicked vocal as well from Ed Scissor. You know, I've got some really fond memories of this album, Little Spaces by Dan Newtone, because it came out during the lockdown time. I think I mentioned it on the podcast before. Like, he did a bunch of different kind of live streams in different locations, showcasing this album. I remember that was the first time I heard this track, which of course is called Warm Glow. And yeah, instantly I was hooked, man. Beautiful piece of music. So yeah, liquid vibes to wash away them January blues. I don't know if your bank balance is looking like mine after Christmas. My gosh. Hospital Podcast 496, first of the year. Let's do this.
Sundown with them lights out, old town, new estate, new moon fully in bloom in that new tone, summer night shade, old bricks and them new sounds, got a new take on a new tape, say number on a new phone, and I'm belling up all my old mates, old tricks and a new flame, new chick in my old car, and we weed smoking, we so close and it's so good, man, so far won't blow. Same flows on the ring, bro. Life of the night show. Warm glow in the dark verse. Bright light in that glow verse. Two sheet around nature. Light up when the light drops. Circling with no lights. Circling with the light.
Yeah, we're gonna go on a little bit of a journey today, George, right? A bit of a quest. Yeah? I don't know what's at the end of the quest. Maybe like my dignity, my sanity. Maybe a sense of humor. No, none of that. Yeah. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I really love this tune. This is from a duo, a Finnish duo, who are, of course, some favourites of mine, some favourites of Hospital Records that have released not only on Hospital but also on Solven, Askel and Alere. And Trisector, this track is called Last Days. Right, some new flavors for the podcast. This is DJ Hybrid, and this is called Don't Test.
You don't test.
George is rocking out in the background, man. Dry January, let's do this, mate.
You don't test.
Who are you trying to kid, though, man? Yeah, I absolutely love this tune. I'll be honest with you, I actually love pretty much all of DJ Hybrid's music. Always just fun vibes, puts a smile on my face. So yeah, this is new music from T.I. I really like this because the EP, George, is called Country Wangers. I don't even know what that means. What is a wanger, and does the wanger reside at the countryside? There's so many images that have come up in my head trying to think of what the fuck a country wanger is. I tell you what, another producer that always makes 10 out of 10 goodness. Mr. T.I., big up. Hospital Podcast 2024, from Liquid to Jungle to whatever this tune is coming up next. Let's do this. Yeah, man, I love this tune. Sounding a little bit more like kind of left field. Bit quiet on the mix down. But again, this is another classic, or at least a modern classic from Mr. DJ Hybrid. This track is called Come Again. Alright, time for some more brand new music from That T.I. EP Country Wangers, baby. If you're a country wanger, can you just comment at the end of this video? Let's go. Just going in, George, right? It's only me and you in the studio. 2024. Obviously, in 2 weeks' time, we'll obviously talk. I said obviously twice. In about 7 words, George. That's impressive. That's why I'll never get a BBC Radio 1 gig, right? Or any other gig apart from the hospital podcast. But anyway, in a couple of weeks' time, when we are back, by the way, live for the 497th episode of the hospital podcast, we'll talk a little bit about what has been your favourite moment, memory of 2023. What do you reckon yours was, George? What mine was? The podcast. George said, I don't know if I believe you, bro. That's number one employee right there. Another raise incoming, my man. So yeah, definitely go and cop that new TIEP Country Wangers, baby. So good, man. I'm going to switch up the vibe a little bit. This track is Thread, track title Crooked. This is the Operate remix. Of course, I want to give a massive shout out to Pete from Overview Music. He's a dad now. Can you believe that? He's a dad. Someone like Pete from Overview is a dad. And do you know what? Actually, he's an amazing dad. Before he starts getting loads of hate mail from people from the podcast being like, I heard you're a bit of a shit dad. and then he'll be like, bro, like, what the fuck? But no, he's a dad. And of course, his incredible partner, Emma B, who will be back touring with, of course, Hospital's own Queen, Solar. Look out for Solar and Emma B coming to a stage near you in 2024, right? But yeah, 2024 is going to be a really exciting year for Hospital. There's a lot of albums coming out this year, including one from Mr. Unglued. George looked at me as if to say, like, is there albums? Is there anything coming out this year? But no, there is actually a fuckload coming out this year. But most importantly, it will be our return to hospitality on the beach. Which of course people are waiting with bated breath now that we are back in our spiritual home of Tisno. Hey listen, Albania was amazing. Absolutely beautiful place. And maybe we'll return there one day. But you know, personally, I have to admit I'm actually really happy that we're in Tisno. Tickets are still available though, right George? Just about. They're selling pretty fucking quickly. Alright then, Hospital Podcast 496. Moment of 2023, you know. Let me have a think. Was it like one of the days that I didn't wake up hungover? How many of those days were there? None. That's not good. There are kids listening to this podcast, man, and that's not the example that we want to be setting for people. But you know, it was a good year. Do you know what? Honestly, you know, on a serious note, there were so many highlights in 2023. Personally, but also just everyone around me. It seemed that the people around me were having a really good year in terms of their personal achievements and their music. If you look at, for example, the likes of the other members of Link, which isn't a super group, but you know, we have a little bit of fun by putting parties on. And if you look at someone like Unglued, who is a father by the time this goes out, ×2, not quite, but he is a father ×1 and will be a father ×2 in 2024, later on this year. And you look at Winey, who's managed to strike up an incredible relationship with P Money, who's one of the greatest artists to come out of the UK, of course. And that's, I mean, even that still in 2024 blows my mind that he's managed to do that. And then you look at Lens. Lens is literally an international superstar now. And I remember only a few years ago when she was DJing, I think it was at the Volks. She was playing before me at the Volks. I'd never heard of her. I thought she was a great DJ, and she was, yeah, absolutely shelling it to like hardly anyone in there. And now look, like she's literally, hopefully, inshallah, don't know why I said that, gonna be headlining festivals and all the rest of it. And then you look at some other artists on the label, like Frevi. This is about my best moment, and I'm just talking about other people as always, because I don't want to talk about me, but basically my best moment. I'll be honest, I think, again, going back to Hospitality on the Beach, I think my best moment was being able to perform like kind of brand new music that I'd written that summer at Hospitality on the Beach, on the main stage, with a packed crowd, and you know, people already starting to learn the lyrics and stuff just by hearing the verses a couple of times. I mean, that's pretty cool. But aside from that, it's hard to pick out a moment. I don't like, yeah, I probably just rambled on about my best moment, but my best moment of 2023 was multiple things. And let's hope there's still lots to look forward to in 2024.
If you are going with a particularly hard place, people are a lot more compassionate than you give them credit for. And
Right, Paige Julia, Compassion. And this track was on 25 years of drum and bass arena. I had to think about that. So you always come prepared, George. People don't think I'm prepared for this podcast, but I know. It obviously says it here, but you know. So yeah, welcome listeners, 496. I think George has just held his phone up because this is a very professional podcast, and unfortunately George doesn't want like an auxiliary mic to get involved. Do you, George? No? You don't want to be like Jamie from the Joe Rogan podcast. He doesn't want that. And he just held up his phone saying, what was my favourite track of 2023? And that's a really hard one, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it right at the end for you guys. And yeah, hold you in suspense a little bit until the end. That's basically, I'm just trying to entice people to listen to the whole podcast. It's Marketing 101. So yeah, this track you can hear right now. Paige Julia, Compassion. Yeah, I absolutely love this, man. Jungle Flavors. She's killed this. Right, let's go. And once again, in 2024, the Hospital Podcast will be full of different flavours, from jungle to jump up, and of course, some liquid vibes like this. This is Mr. Joseph. Yeah, I love this tune, man. Mr. Joseph, Why Try, featuring Phoebe Freya.
I'm feeling like I'm falling to pieces. In slow motion, you won't notice that I'm gone. I'm feeling like I'm fading in the darkness. Tell me that I am not alone. You're not
Yeah, this is an incredible link up, you know. So Mr. Joseph, of course, a legendary liquid funk producer. I don't want to disparage it by saying he's been around for a long time, but he's certainly made some incredible classics over the years. And linking up with a vocalist that I really, really rate and respect, Phoebe Freya. It was actually on my debut album, not to say that was a big achievement. George is like, why are you mentioning that? But yeah, she was on a track with LSP called Trade Places, and her vocal on that was absolutely incredible. And yeah, she's absolutely smashed this one too, man.
I'm feeling like I'm fading.
right, time to just dive back in to some old blood from an EP compilation called New Blood. George is like, what the hell are you talking about? But this is an old med school compilation. This is New Blood 10. And this track is by an artist called Calm, the one that's coming in. The track is called White Picket Fences. And I wanted to play this just to switch things up a little bit. It's a new year, right? But even though it's a new year, there's nothing wrong with delving in to some old goodness. It doesn't say what year this came out, George, but there we go. Enjoy. Hospital Podcast 496. Let's do this. Lucky to attend the very, very last ever med school tour, which was back in 2019. And that was with Winey, Unglued, Kino, and of course myself. And it was amazing, man. Spent some dates in Australia and some dates in New Zealand as well. And actually being on a tour like that, up close and personal to a lot of the artists, I mean specifically Kino and Winey, who were mainstays of med school and obviously have got a lot of very significant releases for that imprint before, unfortunately, its time came to an end. And then being up and close and personal with those guys and just hearing these tunes being played out to crowds, you know, it was almost bittersweet, because it's nice to hear music like this being played to big crowds in different places in Australia, New Zealand, on the other side of the world, especially at a time, even in 2019, where kind of harder stuff was a little bit more all the rage, but bittersweet in the way that thinking, you know, kind of forward thinking, left field, I guess. I don't even know, like, you can think of all the flipping describing words you can, but it's just it's a shame that obviously that imprint went, but that's why I love artists like Y2. In fact, Y2, I'm going to play one of his tunes a little bit later. I've played some of his LP, excellent LP, which was on Blue Martin Music. Blue Martin, who's now my agent, believe it or not. He's an absolute legend, man. And I remember like commuting every day, listening to tunes like this, Blue Martin style kind of tunes. And I'm going to stop complimenting him now, because he just cusses me every single day. So, Chris Blue Martin, if you're listening, fuck you, bro, but also I love you, man. Some more goodness from UKS Liquid Series, and this track, All or Nothing, is by Pixis Telomic and the vocal talent of Kinsella. And yeah, this is wicked, man. Real vibey stuff. Hospital Podcast. And yeah, more UKF Liquid Series business. This time from BC and a vocalist I rate a lot. Again, he was on my album, George. Not gonna lie, he was on my album. It's Javon, track entitled Reset Switch.
Minds or the faces, heard you sing that. How is it still so crazy? It don't seem to get better. It don't ever get better. So things always be wild, so wild, so wild. Ain't you and I been so out of touch? So things always be wild, so wild, so wild. Ain't you and I been so out of touch? You know, back when I make you see just how cold this whole space can be. Oh, tell me if I work with you, maybe will you meet me halfway? Oh, tell me if I work with you, maybe will you meet me halfway? Forgive me if I don't stay around when nothing gets figured out and watch it all fall down. Oh, how do we live this crazy? If one side cares if it's better, can't live like this forever. Back when I make you see just how cold this whole space can be. Oh, tell me if I work with you, maybe will you meet me halfway? Oh, tell me if I work with you, maybe will you meet me halfway?
So yeah, we are actually running in to the last few tunes of the podcast, right? I think we're looking good, George. We're looking good. I absolutely love this breakdown. Listen to this. This is Hugh Hardy, Day 6 Bending Light featuring Polar and Bryson. Right, time for a little blast from the past. This is maybe 2018, maybe 2017. Logistics, featuring unknown vocalist. I think we'll just leave it there. Welcome to the 496th episode of the Hospital Podcast. First of the year, Happy New Year wherever you are in the world right now. All right, let's go.
Take me far away, safe in the arms around, safe in the arms around.
So let's just call it equal and make our way. Far away.
Okay. Now this track right here, George, as we get into the last few, is one of my favourite Liquid tunes, I swear, of all time. I was just going to have a quick look, see what album it is on, but I actually can't remember. I don't think I wrote it down. But this track is by the now defunct Spectrasoul, of which one half is smashing it around the world right now, Workforce. Last time I saw Workforce was on a beach in Mexico, weirdly enough. We'll leave the rest up to your imagination, right? And this track right here, Spectrasoul, Bygones, Hospital Podcast. Yeah, big up QZB and Charlie Bricks. The track is called Watch It Burn. This is on QZB's album entitled Future Forever. And that's out right now. 2024. I believe it came out in 2023, but you know what? Let's start the year with some QZB, right? Just for you, George, right? Yeah, big up one more time, Mr. Daddy, Peter Piper Maxted at Overview Music. Mr. Daddy, is that a name? That's not a name. He can't roll with that. If he turns up the next time I see him at the pub and says, "Hi, I'm Mr. Daddy," then at least I know he's listening to the podcast, right? Now, this track is by Creatures and Rizzle, track entitled Chironex.
Witches in the mix inflict the worst curse. Dry as a desert storm, the worst earth. Terror from the
Yeah, music from Hologram. And once again, this is a dub. This is called Tony Blair Witch. We need to start naming our tunes properly, man. And yeah, like I said, we're coming out to the last few ones of the podcast. Before, what I'll do is I'll play, right at the end, I'm going to play probably one more tune, which will be my favourite track of 2023. And then we're back live in 2 weeks' time. Please come armed with your favourite tunes of 2023 and we'll talk about it. I really want to hear what your highlight was of the year. I know we tried to ask that question to me and it just failed super hard. There's been a lot of highlights, but maybe some more well-adjusted people like the listeners of the Hospital Podcast will be able to come up with something a little bit more coherent than what I did. We'll see. You never know.